My name is Julia Gonzalez. I utilize 2 hearing aids and 1 for each ear. That you can actually see it. So that's just 2 on there. Just one. It just comes off, not like a cochlear implant or anything.
Okay.
It just goes like that. So that's it. I'm the only one in my person who is hard of hearing.
My name is Annie Gajowski. I went to college at Illinois State University and I majored in Advocacy. I graduated in 2010, and for high school I went to Palatine High School and I graduated from there in 2006. I'm hard of hearing, but if I take off my hearing aid, I am deaf. I was born hard of hearing, but my parents didn't know until I was 3 years old that I had a hearing loss. No one was born with a hearing loss like I was, but my dad does have a hearing loss. It was something from like medicine when he was about 10. So he does wear a hearing aid, but other than him, it's just the two of us. It helps that I have a parent that has a hearing loss because he understands where I'm coming from when I can't hear something or understand something, and he's always been like one of my biggest advocates. He's always told me, because you're deaf, you have to try twice as hard as everyone else, and if you want to be like everyone else in the world. And it's kind of like a hard truth, but it's something that we all need to hear because we want to be successful. So it's been pretty awesome to have somebody that's understanding of what I'm going through. I have one hearing aid in my left ear. I don't use one in my right ear. I did try, but this ear is really sensitive and I just do not like wearing a hearing aid in that one.
Okay.
I have never turned down wearing my hearing aid growing up. I've always wanted to be able to hear everything, like being able to hear my friends, sound. I wanted to be like my family because they were all mostly hearing, but at the same time, I appreciated the fact that I was hard of hearing. I appreciate the fact that I'm hard of hearing because I think it made me the person that I am today because I try harder. I am able to, hear, but at the same time appreciate those sounds that most people might take for granted. Also, at night I can sleep without and be deaf. I don't hear any storms, but it's just a way of life for me.
My name is Tina Childress. I grew up in Skokie, which is a suburb of Chicago, and I went to Niles West High School, which is a hearing high school. I was born hearing, and I became deaf as an adult when I was 29. I'm the only one in my family that has hearing loss. I have 2 cochlear implants. I got my first cochlear implant in August of 2000, and I became bilateral in December of 2005.
The kind of person that would be seen as a good role model would have pretty good qualities like leadership. You know, they show like they can really push themselves past the limits that people must expect you to do, and have determination, motivation, never give up. Like have that kind of quality that people really see. Not a lot of people have it. I mean they can show it, but you know, it just takes a lot of time for it to come out. But yeah, that's pretty much how I would see a role model.
Qualities of a successful role model would be, friendly, understanding, always working hard at what they do, saying they're gonna do something and actually do it, and helping other people, just caring about everyone else and themselves too, because you need to be able to satisfy all your needs before you can be happy for other people. I've always believed that, because if you're not happy yourself, how can you be a role model for other people? So you need to work hard. Also, just compassion for what you do and for other people.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Who is your role model?
I would say one of my role models would be my dad, because he had a tough life, and no matter where he came from, he always thought he wanted a better life for his kids, and he really did provide us with a better life, and he has worked so hard over the years, even with all of his medical problems, and so I really respect and admire him.
Is to be willing to help others overcome whatever barriers that they're overcoming. Sometimes you have to think outside the box. They may have a situation that's kind of like what you went through, but not exactly. So you might have to think back, what did I do in that situation? And how can you apply it to that person's situation? Even though you may have a hearing loss and you may not hear well, you can always be a good listener.
When I first realized that people were maybe a little bit different from me, probably when I was in school, definitely in elementary school, I would see all the hearing kids around me, and I would be the only one with an interpreter in the class, and I would be the only person to understand it. I didn't really understand why, but as I grew older, I knew that okay, I'm a little bit different. I can't quite hear like everybody else. At times I've tried, just focusing on the teacher, and I was just totally just forget. I would not understand a word she would say, and then I would just focus on the interpreter, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm kind of different from everybody else. I have to advocate for myself.
I do remember feeling a little different at school because I went to school with other deaf kids. I was in the LICA program from preschool to 5th grade. So I was in a self-contained classroom, and I knew that there were so many other kids in the school that were hearing, and they were in these big classrooms and with all these students, and I didn't know that I wasn't a part of that, so I felt a little isolated, but at the same time I realized that I could probably work towards being like them, and I did because I majored part of 5th grade and from that point on. how did I learn how to advocate for myself? That would be probably because my dad always told me to speak up. If you want something, nobody's just gonna hand it to you. You need to be independent and just advocate for yourself. And I started doing that at a very young age because I learned that when I spoke up, if I had an issue with something, it would resolve way faster than if I just like, I don't know what to do, I'm not gonna speak up. It was just way better for everyone, including myself, to just advocate for myself. to live independently is without them, because it feels like I've achieved my goals. I do what I want, and I know that I can do anything on my own. I don't really need help, but I have people I can go to that if I need help. It's a really nice feeling to have been like able to achieve like college graduation and moving from that point on to live independently.
You'd had the job before?
How did I get a job? Well, first I was a teacher, so after college I just applied to a bunch of jobs around the area in the northwest suburbs. I just got an interview for one job in Wastika, which is kind of central, southeast Illinois, and I did well on my interview and they offered me the job. For the job that I have now as an employment specialist, a DRS counselor told me that there was an opening because I told her I was kind of up in the air about teaching, and so I decided to email my resume, and they called me in for an interview and offered me the job in the same day. So I was pretty lucky.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you use a DRS counselor.
I have used a DRS counselor. Through college, they have paperwork, then a new hearing aid. After college, they did provide me a new hearing aid again for my job. And just she did offer job services, and I said no, but if you hear anything, let me know because I'm pretty independent though.
I became an audiologist before I lost my hearing. As I started losing more and more of my hearing, I had to learn how to adjust and cope with my hearing loss by adjusting the way I did my job, using different accommodations, as well as using different kinds of technology. Something that was so helpful for me was to find someone that was in a similar position before. So I actually found someone that was also a deaf audiologist, and he coached me to help troubleshoot whatever difficult listening situation I was in and to give me advice. And that helped me so much. Another thing that's really important when you're trying to do your job well is to be really upfront about your hearing loss. If you try to fake it and say that, oh, I don't have a hearing problem or I don't need accommodations, if someone comes up to you and you don't hear them or you don't or if you misunderstand them, it could get you in trouble. So it's really important to be upfront about your hearing loss.
At work, every day I encounter something new that I have to basically advocate for myself. At work, when it gets really busy or is it just a slow day, we use walkie-talkies, and that's a big hassle for me because, and I've talked to them, my boss about this millions of times, and we've been trying to figure out ways how to really communicate with each other through it. And I told him one day, hey, the walkie-talkie beeps. So I told him, because I can hear it through it's like a walkie-talkie that hooks on here, and then it's a wire that hooks up on here. So I have to take out my hearing aid for me to put it on. So I only have one hearing aid and then one earpiece that's on for the walkie-talkie. So I told him one day, hey, if you need me, usually I'm in the back row by the shoes, and there's a pillow in the front, and then there's a counter. So I'm in the back by the shoes always, most of the time. And then I told him, hey, if you need me by the cash register for me to help out with the customer or anything, just beep the walkie-talkie 3 times, and then I'll come up to the front, and then that's it. I don't tell him, I'll tell him, don't talk to me through the walkie-talkie, because I don't understand you. And, and if you need to talk to me, right away, just beep the button, beep the walkie-talkie, and I'll come up right away.